Hey guys, Richard here from Erudite, and today I'm going to talk to you about call to action feedback. Now, call to action feedback is essentially providing the user with some sort of communication within the button. The reason we do this is it can help guide them through to specific pages, tell them a little bit about the state of the call to action, and really just to improve their user experience. Now, an example of this might be when you add something to your cart, the call to action label might change to added. This provides feedback to the user that their goal has been completed and they can move to the checkout. Another example might be a required field in the form. If you're filling out a form and you don't hit a required field correctly, clicking the call to action might provide an error state. This error state tells you that the form isn't filled out correctly and the required field needs to be done. Another example might just be a basic call to action. When you hover over a call to action, click it for example, then this might tell the user that the button is active and this will take them through to a desired page or place. Why don't we have a look at what we did on the Erudite site to improve the user's experience and potentially improve conversion rate. Okay, so when we're referring to call to action feedback, we typically call these active states. So here you can see our active states for various calls to action, cards and things like that within our user interface. So we break this down like this so that we can first see what the active state will be like before it goes to build, but also so that we can communicate that to our developer. Okay, so here you can see our active states where we're describing what our call to action feedback is going to be. So we have a normal, hover and a click state. Obviously some don't have a click state because once you click you go through to a new page, so the feedback is the new page loading. Just circling into this send message call to action as an example, you can see that this is the normal state. So when the user is scrolling through the page, this is the call to action that they'll see. When they hover, the color will darken behind the label and we'll have this arrow moving in to really tell the user that this is a clickable item. And then we have the click state. So once the user has clicked, either of these two states will show. So we have oops, a small way of telling the user that there's something that needs to be done within the form. And what we have is the ability to tell the user the required field that needs filling out before the form can be sent. So this is our error state. And then we have thank you with a tick, and obviously the color has changed green here. So this is telling the user that the functionality is complete, the goal is complete, and the user can move on with their experience. You'll see below here we have a newsletter example. So as the user is scrolling through the page, they have this as what they see. On hover, we have this arrow coming in to tell the user that they can submit their email address. And then we have these error states and completion states. So first here, the completion state, very similar and consistent with the send message. And then we have the error states telling the user what the error is. So whether the email is already on the list or whether the email hasn't been put into the field. So let's have a look at how these translate to our website design. So first of all, let's start with our regular call to action. Now you can see as I'm hovering over this call to action on desktop, the color is darkening behind the label and the arrow sweeps in. So this is telling the user that this is a clickable item. This will take them through to the next page. Now on mobile, we have to be careful because we can't really have hover states. If we have hover states left over from desktop, then this can be quite inconsistent. Sometimes they'll show when you're scrolling, sometimes when you're tapping. So it's best to not have hover states on mobile and best just to make it really clear what is clickable and what isn't. If we look at our contact form, you can see here that I filled out some mock details and you'll see the send message call to action below is giving me feedback telling me that I can send the message. Now if I send this now, the call to action will change to tell you, thank you, the message has been sent. Now, if we look at something that requires another hover and click state, so something like our hreflang tool, we have this call to action here. If I hover over, it's telling me to upload. So the label is telling it and also the icon is. So I can upload a CSV. We have this indicator here, which is giving the user feedback that the tool is working. So this is telling the user that they should wait, be patient, something is happening. And then we have this completion state that's telling the user that they can download the item. So I can download this, and there it is, it's now mine. So again, call to action feedback really just helps to tell the user what is going on within the page, communicating to them what they can do, what has happened, what hasn't happened, and can work, as you can see in the first example, to encourage them through to click. So it can encourage them to inquire, encourage them through to a product page, something like that. It can also give the user these kind of delightful interactions within your site. So, you know, things like arrows showing, things like a thank you message showing, maybe it's even an oops message showing within the call to action. Things like this can give your design personality, can connect to the user more emotionally than a textbook template kind of style would, and can really then give you that connection with your users that you're looking for with your website. Okay, so that was a really brief introduction to call to action feedback and how we've used it on the Erudite site to improve our users' experience and give them some guidance whilst they're interacting with our website. If you like the video, then please do subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified of any future videos, and drop us a comment below to let us know what you'd like to hear more of within the technical marketing space. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.